Yo, welcome back. This is Support Via Quirk Larceny by Flapjack09. Chapter 11. What does the I in I Island stand for? I thought it stood for intelligence, Ribbit. May shook her head. No, I think it was ingenuity. Izuku scrolled through his phone looking for answers. There's a lot of conflicting answers, but the most common one I'm getting is I don't know. Suyu gave a confused glance. You don't know? No, most people think it's called I Don't Know Island. What do you think, All Might? May asked. Did David ever tell you? Toshinori scratched his chin in contemplation. I believe David said that I stood for iguana, named after the island's founder, Juana Iguana. I honestly can't tell if you're messing with us or not, but I'm gonna start calling it Iguana Island. Either way, you'll never find out because we're landing, All Might said as he buffed up into his muscle form, made much easier by muscle augmentation. When Toshinori, his protege, and the two support students got off the plane, they were greeted by a girl with blonde hair who was holding a sign labeled Uncle Might. All Might immediately ran up to her and wrapped her into a big hug. Melissa, it's great to see you again. Uncle Might, I missed you too, Melissa said as she returned the hug. Uncle Might? I didn't know you had siblings, Ribbit, Sue said. All Might gave a hearty laugh. It's not like that, young Sue. Me and David have just been close for a long time. How close is up for debate, Izuku muttered to May. I've known his daughter for her entire life, so the term uncle just stuck. But where are my manners? All Might put Melissa down. Melissa, this is my protege, Suyu Asui. Melissa walked up to Suyu and shook her hand. It's great to meet you, Suyu. Or would you like me to call you Asui? Call me Sue, Ribbit, Suyu answered. Melissa turned to Izuku and May. And you too. It's so great to finally meet you for the first time. May grabbed Melissa's hand and violently shook it. Likewise, it's always a great idea to get accompanied with future business partners, especially ones on Iguana Island. Speaking of business, Izuku interjected, would you like to do the transfer now? Melissa began hopping up and down excitedly. Yes, more than anything. Good, because I already gave you the quirk before you finished that sentence. Melissa paused her jumping and reached into her pocket, pulling out a metal rectangle about the size of a phone. It began to melt in her hand, the liquid metal floating up and forming a spear. Once all the metal was melted, the spear began to shift and change form, before eventually molding into the shape of a handgun, which solidified into her hand. Well, how does it feel? Melissa eyed the gun she just made up and down. I can see where Quirk supremacists exist. This is awesome. She pulled Izuku into a hug. Thank you so much. Izuku smiled nervously. Please don't hug me while you're holding a gun. Oh, sorry. Melissa melted her gun and formed the metal back into a rectangle, which she put back in her pocket. But still, this quirk will help me so much in the lab. I'm glad you gave me those quirk training tips beforehand. Now, I can finally get revenge on those jerks at Iguana Academy who called me Melissa. Oh, they'll see just how much less I am when I melt all their science fair projects. Melissa suddenly regained awareness of her surroundings as her face turned red and she slipped out of mad scientist mode. May pat Melissa on the back while carrying a huge smile. Atta girl, Melissa. Let spite and vengeance fuel your endeavors. It worked for me. Right. Melissa cleared her throat. How about we give Uncle Might some time to catch up with Dad, and we can go check out Iguana Expo? Sounds good, Croak, Suyu said as she and her friends left for the expo. Have fun, All Might. With All Might now alone, he began to make his way to his old friend's place. Hopefully I won't have to tell him about the new quirk development. After Toshinori and David reunited, exchanged greetings, caught up, and shared a drink, David had Toshinori lie down on a on a large scanner so he could monitor his quirk levels, just like old times. Secretly, Toshinori was worried about what would show up on the readings. Either David would notice the sharp decline in quirk energy since passing on One for All, or he would fixate on the sharp increase in quirk activity due to the recent acquisition of quirk augmentation. "Toshi!" David exclaimed. "Your quirk energy has seen a sudden spike upwards. This is great! If it continues at this rate, you'll be back at your prime in a year. Do you have any idea what caused this change?" Toshinori, very aware of what happened, and even more aware that the upward trend would not continue, tried to play it cool. "Oh, just started taking care of myself. I did all kinds of self-care activities, like, what's that thing with the face mask and the mud baths called? A spa?" "Yes, a spa. I've been doing those, like, once a day." "Right," David said, not entirely convinced. "If you'd excuse me for a moment, I need to take a quick work call. Be back in a second." When David stepped into the other room, he pulled out his phone and quickly dialed a number. "Wolfram, it's David. Cancel the plan. We don't need the Q80 anymore." "All Might's fine." "Yes." "You'll still get paid." "Yes." "I'll leave a good review on Yelp." "All right. Good. I love you too." And who might that have been? Hopefully not someone vital to the plan, All for One asked. "Hardly," Wolfram replied. "Looks like David got cold feet, but the heist will still be carried out as normal." Wolfram raised his other hand to show that he has his fingers crossed the whole time he was on the phone. "After all, we still have Sam to let us onto the island." "Oh my god, I've never seen so many wonderful babies in my life," May exclaimed as she dashed from booth to booth. "They have robot arms, robot cars, robot animals, and is that a robot person?" "No, I'm not a person," replied the robot person. The scientist manning the booth leaned over to May. "We programmed a robot that thinks it's human. Pretty cool, right?" May flashed a thumbs up. "Cool and questionably ethical." "That's science for you." May noticed as Melissa and Sue ran up to her in a bit of a panic. "Have you seen Izuku? We can't find him anywhere," Melissa asked. "What are you talking about? He's kind of hard to miss." May pointed behind the girls, where they noticed a 20-foot-tall green lizard, who noticed them and returned and stomped over. "Guys, you'll never guess which hero asked me to take their quirk," the green lizard said. Suyu suddenly recognized the lizard as Izuku. "Why did Godzilla give you his quirk, Ribbit?" "He wanted to be normal size for a while, but there's a small problem. We both thought he was a human with a lizard quirk, but it turns out he was a lizard with a human quirk. As soon as I took his quirk, he turned into a mindless lizard and ran away." Suyu's pupil shrunk as she realized the gravity of this situation. "What do we do?" Melissa spoke up. "Don't worry, I have a plan." After passing off Godzilla's quirk to the first reptile they could find, an iguana, coincidentally enough, the group decided they should lay low for a while, so Melissa gave them a quick tour of her lab. And this is one of my favorite inventions. It's designed to withstand an All Might level punch. I call it the Full Gauntlet. Suyu took an immediate interest in that. "That could be pretty useful for me, Ribbit. My quirk has a strength enhancement aspect, but I can't go above 10% without breaking my bones." "Oh, well, why don't you take it for a test drive?" "I would, Ribbit, but I mostly use my legs when fighting." "That's okay. This gives me the perfect opportunity to try something out." Melissa used metalwork to melt down the gauntlet and mold it into a leg-like shape. "Say hello to the full Sabaton." "Sabaton?" Suyu asked, as the device wrapped around her right leg. "Yeah, that's what you call armor for the foot." Melissa paused as she heard a beeping sound from her phone. "Oh, shoot. We gotta get ready for the gala. We don't want to be late." "No need," May said dismissively. "I'm already ready." Izuku shot May a disappointed look. May, I told you to bring something fancy to wear. What's fancier than a tank top and coveralls? Literally anything, Suyu said bluntly. May shrugged as she let out a smirk. Oh, well, nothing we can do now. Izuku took out his phone. I'm asking Yaoyorozu to make you a dress. What color do you want? Pink, but you can't do this. I won't let you, May said as she dashed out of the lab. I got this, Ribbit. Suyu activated fluorescence and ran after May. Several seconds after, she returned with May tied up in her tongue. This is gonna be a whole thing, isn't it? Melissa sighed. You get used to it, Izuku said, as he pulled out a maroon suit from Hammerspace. Just above the gala, Izuku waited outside the girls' restroom as Suyu and Melissa tried to force May into her dress. Izuku didn't exactly know what was going on in there, but he heard the sound of screaming, crashing, punching, kicking, and explosions over the past 5 minutes. That gave him more than enough context. May, come on! Just cooperate already! Izuku yelled from outside. Everyone else is already at the gala. I don't want to miss a thing. Warning, warning, warning. This is an island-wide announcement. Iguana Island is now on maximum lockdown. You know what? Take your time. I can stand to miss a few things. Oh my god, the notes. Hold up. The notes for this chapter. Reporter. Godzilla, why are you green? Izuku, with Godzilla's quirk. I molted? Reporter. And you turn green? Izuku. Do I look like a biologist to you? Yep, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, okay, so that was chapter 11.
Nice.
Yup. Okay, so yes, that was chapter 11. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I mean, oh yeah, by the way, you know, you can probably hear the voice in the background, whatever. But my friend Moth, I've been on call with her, and say hi, Moth. Yeah, because I'm definitely putting that in the video. That's going in.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. Anyways, so yeah, 2 more chapters left. Left. Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
2 more.
2 more. Alright. Well, that is it, people. Goodbye.